what business acumen do you think is needed to move forward? I mean, there's a new normal coming, and we don't really know what that looks like. So what's it going to take for us to get there?
Well, now we've all seen what a pandemic can do. And I don't know about you, but we're unable to unsee it, right? Once you see it, you can't go back to what was. So normal will probably not be the new normal we knew just a few months ago. And I'm guessing, I could be wrong, but at least I, for one, will never walk into a grocery store the same way. Not that I've walked into a grocery store in the last number of months. Frankly, I haven't. They have that nice curbside drop-off pickup that we take advantage of. But I can't imagine we'll walk in with the same perception that we did a few months ago. So we really have a choice. Do we try and hide and force it back as it was? Or do we face it eyes wide open with what things around us can be? And we get the chance to look at our environment and try to modify it to one that best suits our employees, our customers, our suppliers, and our partners. And each impacted party will need that continued reassurance that Erika so nicely mentioned, that will look a little different as well. Those connection points are via video, they're not in person. You can't read body language 100%, right? To know how that works. So you have to spend more time and be more mindful and conscientious of how that looks. And then each impacted party will need that continued reassurance. Then as a corporation and as individuals, we'll figure out who can be counted on. What are our skill sets different out of the office than in the office, or in the office for those that are there, and that we greatly appreciate being front line. I know that we both have warehouses and people who are engaged and trying to keep things up and moving. Now, I think, so we plan to come out of this not at the same normal, but as a new normal.
Okay.
Closer as an executive team, closer as managers, closer as employees, as business partners, because our choices to step up our communication, our technology, and using the contingency plans that we've all had in place for many years, but using them to good end and having that laser focus on executing our mission, right material, right place, right time, every time for us. And Erika, I would love to hear your thoughts on what you've seen.
I love the clarity of mission. I think it's important to keep that mission ahead of us, and each company has a mission. And I think also, what we think about what we'll do on the other side of the crisis, I think a lot of matters is what we do now and over the next months. We don't know how long this crisis will last. We don't know where we're going to get out of the pandemic. And while I talked about what we're doing with our employees, when we started to think about how do we operate during the crisis, we went beyond just about how do we operate as a business. We thought about how do we help our customers and our partners operate and continue to operate and hopefully thrive as much as they can during the crisis. So as we kind of shifted our way of thinking from just our own business, but much more broadly, we decided to, as an example, to provide our Amino SM engaged support and services for free. And that's a software that enable our devices to be installed, configured, and troubleshooted remotely, which means that you don't need a truck roll, you don't need a technician to come to people's home to set that up. So you can see the importance of doing that, because right now with lockdown and shelter in place, no one can go into other people's home. So having that service and having it for free is really lowering the barrier to or any challenge to continue to operate. And we've seen a lot of positive response with our partners and customer with this offering. So as we think about the future for us, and we just had a board and a strategy meeting earlier today, we're really thinking about how do we continue to innovate? How do we continue to grow as a business? How do we partner? And how do we work with our customer differently so that we increase their customer satisfaction, we change the experience working with our partners. And that's allowing us to kind of think beyond the crisis, but to also put the right stepping stone in place to get through this crisis.